Examination for Teachers is one of the most awaited exam for us education graduates and aspiring teachers. And today, I will be sharing with you some helpful tips on how to pass the LET. I myself have done this and I know that this would help you in some ways. What are the things to consider before and during the exam? The first thing to consider is to review. Since you will be taking the licensure examination for teachers, it is very important to review. May it be in the review center or self-review. It is very important to read because it will really help a lot. In my case, I always read and review during early morning. I woke up at 3 a.m. and read until 5 a.m. This really helps, especially because since it is very silent and your brain is still fresh, there is a great tendency that whatever it is that you reviewed, it will be retained in your mind. The second thing to consider is to prepare all your things for the exam. As much as possible, you have to prepare everything ahead of time. From pencils, notice of admission, envelope, bag, clothes to wear, everything. This will help you worry less and thus this will help you concentrate with your upcoming exam. When you are financially, emotionally, mentally, and physically ready, there is a great chance that you would think clearly during the exam, and surely you'll pass it. Another thing to consider, and I guess the most important to consider, is to pray. As you have already prepared yourself physically, emotionally, and financially, you have to consider also your preparation spiritually. As believer, therefore, praying is very important. There is no impossible to Him. Ask for His guidance, ask for His divine intervention and wisdom so as to pass the examination. As you have already prepared all the necessary things before the examination, now, what are the things to consider during the examination? The first thing to consider is to follow instructions. As you are so excited to take the examination, compose yourself. Listen carefully to the instructions given by the examiner. Follow how are you going to fill out important data and how are you going to answer the exam. The next thing to consider is to analyze every question. Although the exam has a time limit, you have to take time to clearly read and understand each question. Do not be in a hurry so that you would be able to get the right answer. Another thing to consider when taking the exam is to answer easy questions first. Since there is a time limit, answer easy questions first, then go back to the hard ones as soon as you finish answering the easy questions. Answering hard questions right away would take you so much time that may result to cramming in the end. So you may not be able to answer all the questions, even the easy ones. Another thing to consider is to use your common sense. There are questions that may sound relevant to the answer. Some questions really lead you to the answer itself. And so, the best way is to be always mindful, to always use your common sense. Another important thing to consider during the exam is to follow your instinct. Sometimes you have no idea at all, or you haven't reviewed or met it yet. Do not leave it blank. All you have to do is to follow your instinct. Follow what your heart tells you to answer. It may sound weird, but when I took the exam, all the questions that I haven't had any idea at all, I answered them only one choice, A only. So you have to choose A, B, C, D, or your choice. And finally, you have to review your answers. After answering and you still have enough time, review your answers. Make sure that you have answered all the questions. Make sure also that you put all the necessary data needed on your paper. So moms, sir, these were just but some of the helpful tips that I can give you as you take the licensure examination for teachers. Good luck!